Science oversimplified. There are introverts and extroverts. I'll give you a guess which one I am. Introverts can be dynamic public speakers. They can dance and sing and electrify a crowd. They can write powerful prose and poetry. Introverts can be great one-on-one and great in large groups. Extroverts can be dynamic public speakers. They can dance and sing and electrify a crowd. They can write powerful prose and poetry. Extroverts can be great one-on-one and great with large groups. A big difference, though, between introverts and extroverts is what energizes them. Oversimplified, introverts are energized by solitude. Extroverts are energized by the crowd. Staying physically distant from one another during the pandemic, do you remember that? It was yesterday. It was difficult for extroverts as they didn't have that rush of crowd energy. Introverts, on the other hand, didn't have to expend the energy necessary to endure a crowd. And I know it's not just that simple. And both introverts and extroverts need to be able to find solitude. And introverts and extroverts find joy in gathering with others. There are times when an introvert can be energized by a crowd. There are times when an extrovert can be energized by solitude. Personality and psychology are not easy to figure out. Folks don't tend to fit into exact personality descriptions. What's your Enneagram? Anybody have it all done? Or what's your Myers-Briggs type indicator? Or whatever personality test you've taken? They do give a clue, but it's not quite that easy because we don't always fit into one quadrant, one square, one description. People aren't that simple. The descriptions of Jesus in the New Testament show someone great with a crowd. They show someone great with small groups and one-on-one. They show someone who could very well have been energized by a crowd. They show someone who needed time away in solitude and in prayer, because sometimes the crowd can just suck the energy out of you. In today's reading, Jesus was tired. He'd been talking and he'd been healing. People were following him everywhere. I can imagine that pace. And the crowds were sucking the energy out of him. Instead of being energized by the crowd and all the hoopla, Jesus needed to recharge, to get away from it all. So he disappeared. He went away from it all to a deserted place. He probably breathed in deep and took in the blessed solitude as he prayed. And the disciples didn't get it. They hunted for him. They had a schedule to keep. They had people to please. When they found him, they even scolded him. Everyone is searching for you. I can imagine the words were spoken, not really with care and concern. Everyone is searching for you. But no, it was more like, I'm tearing my hair out and you're not helping anything. We're looking for you. Those kinds of emotions. I think that others in Jesus' situation might have said, so let everyone wait, I need a break. Leave me alone for a little while. I'll find you when I'm ready. Anyone ever said that? Yeah? I think that Jesus probably wanted to say something like that, or perhaps something a little stronger. But instead, I imagine he took a deep breath. And then he said, let's go. Let's go to some of the smaller places. I think those folks need to see and hear all this too. I think that Jesus found a little more time to rejuvenate by traveling to the smaller places where folks hadn't yet heard much of him. So good for him. Are there times, places, and life situations where your energy is being depleted faster then you can replace it? Do you need time away from it all? To take a deep breath and experience the rejuvenating solitude? Here's the big one, not to answer it out loud at all. What is sucking the energy out of you right now? And what do you think about those words from Jesus, said right after he was scolded by his disciples for getting away from it all to rejuvenate? Here's how this morning's reading put the words that I just paraphrased. Let us go to the neighborhood town so that I may proclaim the message there also, for that is what I came out to do. Any person needs to get away from it all, to take a deep breath and to experience rejuvenating solitude. I find that some of the most rejuvenating solitude comes along with me and a guitar. For you, it's likely something different. Whatever it is good to get away from it all and to just be. And it's also necessary to go and do. Even in, and maybe especially as we continue in whatever this is after pandemic times, endemic, new learning, back to normal? No, it's not. Everything is different than it was even 4 years ago. Even as we continue in this, let's use our creativity to continue to do. Do what? Follow our mission. We believe that we are called to serve. We believe that we are called to love our neighbor and that we are called to offer help and hope to the least of these. We accept the call to be light that shines in dark places and the salt of the earth. We seek to continue Christ's ministry of healing, feeding, and teaching. We seek to offer an extravagant welcome to all. And we do this in many ways. Sometimes it's expressed in offerings and financial generosity. To the United Church of Christ's offerings that bring hope and help globally, and certainly here at home. Sometimes it's expressed in mission trips where we go to serve. That's part of the mission statement for Peace Memorial Church. As we spend time this year living into that and seeking out what God's vision is for Peace Memorial Church, let's remember to pay attention, especially to those who always seem to be forgotten, rejected, or exploited. Let's be the church and work so that no one is deserted. Amen.